In today's video, we explore the countries that do not recognize Palestine as a state in 2025. Despite Palestine's declared independence in 1988, many countries, including some of the world's most powerful nations, have yet to grant it recognition. These countries often cite complex geopolitical issues, support for Israel, or international diplomacy as reasons. But why do these countries continue to withhold recognition from Palestine? Like, subscribe, and watch till the end as we break down each country's position and understand the political, historical, and religious factors behind this decision. Number 1. United States. The United States has long been a staunch ally of Israel, which influences its stance on Palestine. The U.S. advocates for direct negotiations between Israel and Palestine rather than unilateral recognition of Palestine. Number 2. Canada. Canada does not recognize Palestine primarily due to its strong diplomatic ties with Israel. It also believes that peaceful negotiations between Israel and Palestine are essential for a lasting solution. Number 3. United Kingdom. The United Kingdom has historically aligned with Israel and does not recognize Palestine as an independent state. The UK supports a negotiated two-state solution through direct negotiations between both parties. Number 4. France. France has shown support for Palestinian self-determination but refrains from recognizing it as a state, prioritizing a peace process and advocating for two-state negotiations rather than unilateral recognition. Number 5. Germany. A strong Israeli ally does not officially recognize Palestine. Germany pushes for negotiated peace between Israel and Palestine while stressing that peaceful dialogue is the key to a two-state solution. Number 6. Italy. Italy aligns with Israel and does not recognize Palestine as a state. Italy advocates for a bilateral resolution and direct talks between Israel and Palestine to solve the conflict peacefully. Number 7. Japan. Japan refrains from recognizing Palestine due to its focus on neutral diplomacy and supporting peace talks. Japan urges both parties to engage in direct negotiations toward a two-state solution. Number 8. Australia. Australia has been a strong supporter of Israel and does not recognize Palestine. It calls for direct negotiations between Israel and Palestine, believing a two-state solution is the best path forward. Number 9. Austria. Austria does not recognize Palestine as a state due to its policy of supporting peace negotiations and maintaining neutrality in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It advocates for a two-state solution. Number 10. Belgium. Belgium does not formally recognize Palestine. It supports Palestinian rights, but believes that recognition should come through direct negotiations between Israel and Palestine as part of a comprehensive peace agreement. Number 11. Denmark. Denmark does not recognize Palestine as a state, focusing instead on supporting peace negotiations. It calls for a two-state solution through bilateral talks between Israel and Palestine. Number 12. Finland. Finland does not recognize Palestine, advocating for direct negotiations between Israel and Palestine. Finland supports the two-state solution and believes that both parties must come to an agreement on their own. Number 13. Ireland. Ireland does not recognize Palestine as a state, but strongly supports Palestinian rights. Ireland pushes for international recognition through peaceful negotiations and advocates for a two-state solution to the conflict. Number 14. Netherlands. The Netherlands does not recognize Palestine as an independent state. The country encourages peaceful dialogue between Israel and Palestine, believing that a two-state solution can only be achieved through direct negotiations. Number 15. New Zealand. New Zealand has not recognized Palestine as a state, choosing instead to support peace processes. The country calls for negotiations between Israel and Palestine and advocates for international recognition through peace talks. Number 16. Norway. Norway does not formally recognize Palestine but has been active in mediating peace talks. It advocates for Palestinian self-determination while encouraging a two-state solution through bilateral negotiations. Number 17. Portugal. Portugal does not officially recognize Palestine, advocating instead for direct negotiations between Israel and Palestine. It supports a two-state solution and believes peaceful dialogue is essential for lasting peace in the region. Number 18. Spain. Spain does not recognize Palestine as a state, but it is supportive of Palestinian rights. Spain encourages international dialogue and a negotiated solution, believing that peace must come from direct negotiations. Number 19. Sweden. Sweden does not formally recognize Palestine, but supports Palestinian self-determination. Sweden calls for dialogue between Israel and Palestine and advocates for a two-state solution through international negotiations. Number 20, Andorra. Andorra does not recognize Palestine as a state. It aligns with international diplomatic efforts that push for direct negotiations between Israel and Palestine as a means of achieving peace and resolution. Number 21, Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein does not recognize Palestine. The country advocates for peace talks between Israel and Palestine and supports a two-state solution as the best approach for resolving the conflict. Number 22, Monaco. Monaco does not officially recognize Palestine as a state, focusing instead on supporting peace efforts between Israel and Palestine. It backs international negotiations to achieve a peaceful resolution. Number 23, San Marino. San Marino does not recognize Palestine as a state. It emphasizes the need for peaceful negotiations between Israel and Palestine and advocates for a two-state solution through diplomatic efforts. Number 24, South Korea. South Korea does not recognize Palestine due to its focus on maintaining strong relations with Israel and its alignment with U.S. foreign policy. South Korea supports direct negotiations for a two-state solution. Number 25, Micronesia. Micronesia does not recognize Palestine, aligning with the U.S. position and advocating for direct negotiations between Israel and Palestine. The country views a two-state solution as the most viable option. Number 26, Fiji. Fiji does not recognize Palestine, choosing to support peaceful negotiations between Israel and Palestine. It encourages a two-state solution through diplomatic efforts and direct talks between the parties involved. Number 27, Kiribati. Kiribati does not officially recognize Palestine, maintaining a neutral stance on the conflict. The country advocates for direct talks and peaceful dialogue between Israel and Palestine, aiming for a two-state solution. Number 28, Marshall Islands. Marshall Islands does not recognize Palestine, aligning with Israel's right to self-defense. It supports the U.S.-led approach to the Israel-Palestine issue, favoring direct negotiations for a two-state solution. Number 29, Nauru. Nauru does not recognize Palestine as a state, aligning with Israel's stance and supporting U.S. policies in the region. It advocates for peaceful dialogue and direct negotiations between both parties. Number 30, Samoa. Samoa does not recognize Palestine, prioritizing peaceful negotiations between Israel and Palestine. The country advocates for a two-state solution, supporting direct talks as the way forward to resolve the conflict. Number 31, Solomon Islands. Solomon Islands does not recognize Palestine, maintaining its focus on supporting peace talks. The country supports international cooperation and believes that a two-state solution can only be achieved through direct negotiations between Israel and Palestine. Number 32, Tonga. Tonga does not recognize Palestine and aligns with the Israel-US position on the conflict. Tonga supports peaceful solutions and diplomatic discussions, pushing for a resolution through direct negotiations. Number 33, Tuvalu. Tuvalu does not recognize Palestine, maintaining neutrality on the issue. Tuvalu advocates for peaceful negotiations between Israel and Palestine and supports efforts toward a two-state solution based on direct dialogue. Number 34, Bahamas. The Bahamas does not recognize Palestine, choosing to support the U.S.-led efforts in the Middle East. It encourages direct negotiations between Israel and Palestine and advocates for a peaceful resolution. Number 35, Barbados. Barbados does not recognize Palestine. It remains neutral on the Israel-Palestine issue, preferring a negotiated two-state solution and encouraging direct peace talks between the two parties involved. Number 36, Jamaica. Jamaica does not recognize Palestine despite its support for Palestinian rights. Jamaica advocates for direct negotiations between Israel and Palestine, calling for a two-state solution through peaceful dialogue. Number 37, Panama. Panama does not officially recognize Palestine, maintaining close relations with Israel and advocating for a peaceful resolution through direct negotiations between Israel and Palestine to resolve the long-standing conflict. Number 38, Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago does not recognize Palestine, supporting the U.S. stance on the Israel-Palestine conflict. The country calls for direct talks and international cooperation to find a solution to the issue. Number 39, St. Kitts and Nevis. St. Kitts and Nevis does not recognize Palestine, maintaining its position of neutrality. It supports diplomatic efforts for peace and calls for a negotiated two-state solution based on direct negotiations. Number 40. St. Lucia. St. Lucia does not recognize Palestine and remains neutral on the conflict. The country encourages direct peace talks between Israel and Palestine, advocating for a two-state solution through diplomatic negotiation. These countries, driven by historical alliances, geopolitical factors, and support for Israel, continue to not recognize Palestine in 2025. Like, comment, and subscribe for more insights on this global issue. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's continue the conversation. See you next time.